Hello, Chain Gang. Welcome back to the Four Chains, and welcome to day one of my 4-day poker odyssey. I don't think that's overstating it, at the Lodge Poker Club in Texas. Now, if you are considering a trip to the Lodge, or you already live in the Austin area and you're considering playing there, I hope these videos are helpful. My intention is to give the kind of advice that would have been helpful to me before I went. I will not keep you in suspense on the review. I'll get into the details over the next 4 videos, but overall the Lodge is a great place to play poker. And I don't think that this is just my opinion. There is a very large percentage of people who are playing there who do not live in Texas. I talked to several people who live in Vegas and traveled to Austin to play here, and that should really tell you something. I talked to a dealer who said during the tournament they had a table where not a single person at the table was from Texas. I had to travel to Austin for a project. I cannot talk about the project yet, but I cannot wait to share the details with you the very second that I get the green light. This should be really exciting for the entire Chain Gang to follow. But the trip did give me an opportunity to play both cash games at the Lodge and their mini monster tournament. That tournament had a $400,000 guarantee that got absolutely blown away. The total prize pool was $840,960. So that is over double the guarantee. There was over 5,300 entries for a non-Vegas poker tournament. Is just crazy. Like I say, I was there for a crazy 4 days, and I would say it's probably the craziest period of poker I've had since the whole final table thing at the WSOP. You know, I said it had a $400,000 guarantee. While I was there, Doug Polk lost over $400,000, and you're going to be treated to a scene involving Doug Polk, myself, Brad Owen, a friend of mine, and it left Doug Polk bleeding. I don't mean bleeding cash, I mean literally bleeding blood all over the place, and he described it as the dumbest thing he'd ever done in his entire life. So stay tuned for that. So some advice about trips there. It advertises itself as being in Austin, Texas. That is certainly the airport you fly into. It's actually in Round Rock. It's not an onerous drive. It's about 40 minutes from the airport with traffic. On my way back, there was no traffic on Sunday, and it was a little over 30 minutes. So that's the particulars about that. I want to say something about the flight. It was United. I don't recommend it. There was 3 different delays. That's not necessarily a reason not to fly a certain airline, but I'm over 6 feet tall, and by the way, Doug's over 6 feet tall, and so is Brad Owen. Those facts will come into play with the whole situation where Brad got busted up, but the legroom, I just can't even believe it was legal. I just, you know, it's a 3-hour flight from Washington, D.C., which is where I came, and I just really felt like I was Andre the Giant driving around in a Toyota Prius. And it's not just me. It's not me being bougie. I flew American Airlines coach on the way back, and it was just fine. As you guys know, if you watch our Mexico videos, or our Italy videos, or our Turkey videos, we really recommend using your miles to fly business or first class when you're headed towards Europe. There's a lot of reasons why that's a good move, but when it's domestic, I usually don't mind flying coach unless it's United. As far as hotels, I chose the Hampton Inn. If you go on the Lodge website, the Hampton Inn is listed as 1 minute away. There's several hotels that there are discounts if you mention that you are playing at the Lodge. I mention this because my original intention was, okay, it's only 1 minute away. It should be a pretty short walk. I'm going to do that. But then I got offered a free rental car. So I got a rental car. It didn't matter. But I was glad I had the car because you can't really walk. It's more of a 2 to 4 minute drive, depending on a big light, whether you hit it. It's a highway, and it's just not really a doable thing. Anyways, day one, let's get to the poker. I missed the tourney. It was a $200 buy-in. So I just said, okay. If you make $200 playing cash, you can use that to get in the tournament. So the tournament, like I mentioned, the Mini Monster, it's a unique format. I'm going to post it here. The reason why I wanted to play it early is there's a huge advantage for playing multiple day ones. Usually that's a bad thing. But in this case, they had 24 day ones, unlimited rebuys. That's the reason why the guarantee got blown away. But the catch is you can continue to play day ones even if you've bagged for day two. Why would you do that? You can combine the 2 day one bags starting day two. And if you bag a third time or a fourth time, you can actually get paid off for those bags that you're not using. So I would say if you have the capacity to play a lot of day ones, you should. I feel like it's sort of like being an actor at the Oscars playing somebody with a disability. That's uncouth, but it's just accurate if you look at it. I just think it's too much of an advantage not to go for it. Getting to the poker specifically, it started out well. I went to a 1-2 table. My very first hand, I got ace, queen of diamonds in the hijack. 2 people had limped to me. You gotta punish the limpers, so I raised it to 16, and I got called by the big blind, and the 2 limpers fold. The flop comes queen of hearts, 10 of spades, 8 of spades. The big blind leads out for 20. Okay. If he has king queen, I'm gonna get paid a lot of money. If he has 2 spades or queen jack, I'm ahead of him, but he could get lucky and it could be a loss for me. So I'd rather take it right now. I raise it up to 60. And, I just feel like he's got to pay for his draws the way Travis Kelce's going to pay for his self-esteem when Taylor Swift decides she doesn't need him anymore. Anyways, he tanks and then calls, confirming my draw suspicions. I'm watching out for a draw. The 5 of diamonds is the turn. That's a blank. The big blind checks. I make it $75. Just give me the money now. You don't have to draw. And sure enough, he does that. Folds queen jack of diamonds. I return the courtesy. I show him I was ahead of him more than Donald Trump and Joe Biden are ahead of their primary opponents who have the misfortune of being under 80 years old and not having idiot sons. I'm not sure that makes sense. I'm not good at these analogies like these other vloggers are. I'll keep trying though. Let me say at this point, I showed him because this session was typical of all the sessions at the lodge. The vibe is great. Everyone's friendly here. There are no John Benettis. I'm dating myself with that reference, but some older viewers might understand it. Occasionally somebody get on a bad streak and get a little upset with themselves, but not really at others. Everyone was just fun to play with and very ethical. I saw multiple situations, particularly on bomb pots, where a dealer would give somebody the entire pot, but that person said, hey, wait a minute, I think this is a chop pot. There's some small technical violations like folding too soon. People were really cool about it. I never heard the floor called for a ruling the entire time. The only time the floor was called, it was called on me for a clock. I'll tell you about that hand now. I had ace jack under the gun and I raised to $8. It's folded to the button who calls and it winds up heads up. The flop comes ace jack 6, rainbow, my favorite. I probably got this crushed. I'm not sure. I decided to check and the button surprises me with a bet of $20. Obviously I call. I'm trying to disguise my strength here. The turn is a 3. That's about as blank as well as Angie's face when I'm trying to explain to her a poker bad beat. If he's bluffing, I'm not going to get any more money, but he did bet the flop, so I went ahead and bet $30, and he calls. The river's a 10. That brings in king queen, but I'm hoping he has ace 10. I lead out for $50. I think I'm betting for value here, and he ships for $360 more. I get a sick feeling. Like if you're a Miami Dolphins fan like myself, it's the feeling we get when we see that the team we're playing this week has a winning record. Let me know in the comments what you should do. Is this a call? I'm still strong. Is this an overbet that smells like a bluff? I'm not sure. I'm in the tank. And he just called the clock. Oh, I was embarrassed. So I just felt like the guy was really comfortable. I'm kind of worried about a set now, but I just don't know. And I want to know, but not for 360. So I told him I wasn't bluffing. I'm going to show him respect. I fold my cards face up. He initially mucks his hand, so I'm thinking I got bluffed, but then he thinks better of it. He asks the dealer to turn over the cards, which are pocket 6s. Yeah, I lost, but I was feeling kind of good. I was appreciating him showing me. I felt good about my read. I felt as good about my read as I did when I read Guns, Germs, and Steel. Not the first time, obviously, because I'm a dummy. The second time when I understood some of it. Okay, I pick up a couple of small pots pre-flop by essentially raising limpers. There is a lot of limping that can be taken advantage of at Lodge Card Club, I would say. Then I have a hand where I pick up pocket kings in the cutoff. So it's time to get a big pot, no slow playing. I want to get a big pot like, here we go, like the one my wife uses when she's making red beans and rice. If you're gonna ask whether she uses ham or sausage, you can ask in the comments, but you don't have to. I'll just tell you it's both. Sorry, Dean Eggs. I know that sounds horrible to you. The under the gun player raises to 12, so that shows strength, but I have the second best hand. I re-raise to 45. It is folded to my buddy, the one who showed me the set of sixes. He calls the 45, and then the under gun player folds. So maybe not as strong as I thought he would be. Under the gun raising up, so I make a note about that guy. The flop comes one that kings hate to see more than I hate to see, who our political parties nominate at their conventions for president. Yep, it is ace, 9-7. All the cards are also in their 80s. Okay, maybe that doesn't make sense. You know what, if you want to enjoy my analogies, you should probably have a drink when you watch these videos or eat a gummy. I'm only saying a gummy, I'm not trying to promote drug use, but I do have two friends who would really love to work in Texas, but they do enjoy the legalized marijuana where they live in Washington State. And it is not legal in Texas, but it is legal in Austin. That's just more information for your trip. I'm not promoting it at all, and this is all secondhand information. They tell me there's a lot of shops that sell weed and gummies and that kind of thing. Anyways, my nemesis leads for $100. I spent a while reading him. He didn't seem comfortable this time. He just didn't. So I go all in, which was less than $300 because why not? And he snap fold, so I guess that's maybe why not. He had queens. I return the courtesy by showing him kings. There's a lot of those kind of courtesies going on at the lodge. It makes it fun. And now I'm up money, which is also fun. I pick up a few more small pots, and then I had one more really interesting one to talk about in this vlog. There's a straddle to $5. Decent amount of that going on. They get 3 callers. I have 5-8 off suit in the big blind. Not a playable hand really, but there's so much in the pot already. I don't like the message it sends folding for $3 more. So I just figure it's worth to make a I defend my big blind advertisement. If some of you may recall, there was a 5-8 hand that sort of worked out for me, but I overreacted and the video wound up being like the first viral poker video ever. It wound up being shown on ABC News. 10 million people watched it that first night, apparently. And I became the most ridiculed person in poker. All 3 of them are all in. Okay, we gotta avoid a set. No 3, no 8. No 3, no 8. Yes!
They're done. Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone?
Oh my God! You have gotta be kidding me! Full house, baby! Unbelievable. You are in first position. I am leading the tournament, baby. You have got to be kidding me. And that's why you play 5-8 in the big blind when the raise is only double your big blind. Ridiculed person in poker, but there's a happy ending. I got a full tilt sponsorship before full tilt became shameful. And I had a nice main event. People were more nice in person than they are on the internet. Not Helmuth, but other people. So I'm hopeful about 5-8 this time. The flop comes king, 6-7 rainbow. I check. It is folded to the button who bets 20, and I wind up the only caller. I'm looking for a 9 or a 4 on the turn to complete my straight, but it's the deuce of clubs. I check again, I got nothing, but the button checks back. So now I'm thinking, okay, he's got a weak king at best. Probably just has ace high. Doesn't really matter because both those hands had me beat, so I check back, bringing the glorious 4 on the river. I got a straight. I'm assuming he has jack nothing, but I bet $35 anyways. He tank shoves for $160. I guess he thought I would fold with that, but I'm not. I call. He actually had king 10. So yeah, he had a king there, but I show him the bad news. Not as bad news as we're gonna get at these political conventions. That's a comedy callback, my friend. Okay, it's not a very good one, but you know, if you got the drink, you might be laughing right about now. Let me say this, if you want like genuinely funny poker analogies, you really should like watch Brad Owen's vlog. He's very witty in a very dry way. I recommend that.
Eventually, the player makes a crying call. We get the opportunity to do something that I hope your captain doesn't do the next time you're on a Carnival cruise. That's turn over a boat.
For the day, I bought in for $300 and I cashed out for $640. So on tomorrow's video, I will be playing the Mini Monster. One unbelievably crazy hand in that. I'm going to be playing some cash games, a little bit higher stakes. I have a chance to meet Brad Owen on tomorrow's vlog, and I will have some important advice about paying attention to details specifically when you're playing at the lodge that you don't want to miss. Also, for moving forward, after speaking with Brad and Doug, I felt I could ask for permission to film hands. I got it. It's a permission Doug will certainly regret, and you are not going to believe what happened and why, but we will see you on day 2 of the vlog, which I will put out tomorrow. If you're not watching this on the day I put this video out, that means it'll be out real shortly today if it's not out already. Isn't that awesome? Okay, thank you for watching the 4 Chains. We'll see you soon.